All right, everybody, welcome to a special episode of the Ginge and Pedro show. I am Ginge Gingerton, and no Pedro today, but we should see him again next week. And we have a very special. This is another midweek returning guest episode. We've been doing this every couple of weeks here. Our very special guest is Mr. Ty Ranger. Let me go ahead and bring him in. Boom, Ty.
Hey, what's up, man? Thanks so much for doing the midweek show, man. I appreciate it.
Oh yeah, it's Friday at this point, so we're sort of at the almost the end of the week show. But yeah, it's you're like I think our third or fourth guest who's did a pre-launch with us, and then when they launched has come back during the week on the show. So it's actually a fun little tradition we're building here. And on that note, actually, speaking of returning guests, we got we got a freaking powerhouse in the background here. I said it in the video description, and I'm not sure if anybody got it, but this is in fact a show so big you're going to need a wheelchair. Everybody, let me bring in our guests. We got Ryan Wynn.
Here to break legs. Let's do this.
Jeff Elkins.
There's no Pedro, but there is a El Guapo Jefe.
Hey, and Kayla, who's eating.
Oh,
sorry.
Perfect timing.
I'm starving.
Right. She might edit books, but she does not edit her life.
No.
Is she
I
eating like
should.
a pork roast right now? What is that?
I'm eating the Chicken King from Burger King. It is
Are we
one of the
interrupting a
most
mukbang?
No. I'm starving. I was like, there's no way I can do this if I don't eat. I'll mute myself.
Got royalty with the chicken king, you said, and
You haven't
Queen
had this
Khaleesi.
yet?
No, there's like one burger. We had like 4 or 5 Burger Kings in my town, and then just one by one, they've all fallen except this one. And
They're
it's
now
not very
Burger
good,
Dukes.
so.
They've
mean,
been
they don't-
downgraded.
Pretty
They're
much,
still
dude.
there, but
Fourth in line to the throne.
It's I don't know. Sir McDonald's is like definitely taking over. Chick-fil-A is also big down here. We've got
sir, it's called a
Whataburger.
whipper now.
Whipper.
Okay, guys. So let me start off by thanking everybody for joining us. This is a great show. All of you guys have been on the show at one point, so it's great to have you back.
Thank you.
Great to be back, man.
Absolutely. This is a special show. This is the late to the launch party for Ty's book, The Undying Chronicles. And Ty, you launched, is it almost 7 days ago, or is it?
Yes, I launched on Saturday, so tomorrow will be a week.
Hey-o. All right, man. Congratulations.
Yeah,
So
Thank you.
yeah, before we get into the book and your campaign, how are you feeling? Like, now that you've got the book out, now that most of the work is done, what's going through your mind?
I'm happy. I've been working on this for probably over 2 years. I'm betting Ryan's happy too because I kept bothering him with questions.
I do the same thing too.
And I'm really excited that I get to show people. And a lot more went into it than I was anticipating. So I'm happy I got the stuff done that I got done. Like a trailer. Once again, that was Ryan bailing me out by telling me how to do that with a size thing and an issue on iMovie.
Which is me having zero technical skill and just having figured out how to push rocks and sticks around to get what I want.
Well, then you have the perfect avatar.
Yeah, exactly.
I thought it was a picture of Spencer, to be honest.
That's what everyone thinks. Like I'm appropriating Northwestern Gaiju culture or something.
Not hairy enough.
Sasquatch culture, sir. It's taken very seriously.
Yeah, it's Harry has the anti-Hitler mustache where it's shaved right under his nose only. That's how you know which side he's on. Where Spencer's got the full stash going across.
Yeah, Spencer's a sassy squatch.
Yeah, that's actually that's more appropriate.
With the legs that he has, yes, I'd agree.
Don't you have the skunk ape down there too, Mr. Freckles McGee? Isn't that what your guys' local is? Or the honey something ape?
I don't.
These pet names for Ginge?
Florida man, that's
Our little
cryptid,
honey monkey?
pretty much.
I actually like that honey monkey.
I mean,
It's like
I guess
honey.
for the right price, maybe. I don't know.
I just remember there was a time I got really into those cryptozoological show things, and there was one in the Everglades, and it was like Honey Island Sasquatch or something. It was weird. I just thought it was so cool that
It was really
There's a-
just some Florida man.
Yeah, just bathing in honey.
Yeah.
Some dude with his belly out,
$5.
fishing.
and a ghillie suit probably.
I like it. No, there's a part of me that sort of wants to make my way down to Miami and get in some of that anaconda hunting or python hunting. I think they do both actually. Like in the
Whoa, hey, let's not get too dirty here, Ginge. I know it's your channel, but jeez.
Jesus. No, not that. No, but okay, guys. So since Ryan does make a good point, let's go ahead and let me pull up this campaign here.
Sorry, you get me in a room with Jeff, I start acting this way.
Riff Bros.
I like
It's
it.
that death curse juju, right?
We're not as cool as the Bash Bros, but we got our thing.
Is anyone as cool as the Bash Bros though?
Impossible.
Okay,
Hey,
so
there's my campaign.
there it is.
All right,
Yep,
the real
yep.
thing we should be talking about.
Boom. All right, very nice. We are at 64%. Very nice. Got 10 backers, 39 days to go. Ty, let's just take it from the top, buddy. What are we looking at here? Tell us the pitch. What do we got?
Well, I have the trailer, which has some of the images from the book and some real light animation. Too bad Pedro's not here to laugh at me for that.
Oh, man.
And some music I made. And as far as the story goes, it's 72 pages. It's about a wandering warrior, some kidnapped children, and monsters in the woods. There's also some other twists and turns as it keeps going, so that there's more than just the knight storming the castle dragon situation. So I tried to mix that with a little Western influence, since samurai movies influenced Western movies, and it features a folklore creature called a kappa, which is basically a evil ninja turtle with dreadlocks.
All right. I like the
Oh
dreadlocks.
man, why you think we all bad?
I would, dude, I would avoid a giant turtle with dreadlocks. I don't walking down the street or even just on all fours. Like I would be confused.
You were it on all fours. I'm sorry, I'll stop.
Okay, guys. So Ty, do you mind if I
Ginge is
go ahead and hit
red.
this trailer?
Yeah, go ahead.
Actually, I'm sunburned today. Actually, in all honesty, I mowed the lawn, dude, and my little pale skin I look like a lobster. Just,
Rock lobster.
okay, guys, let me go ahead and hit this. Let me know how it sounds. If it's too loud. Is that good?
Oh, yeah, that's good.
Mhm.
Nice.
It's a time lapse cheat.
Yeah. I love that effect.
I told Ty this just needs like some drop D guitar riffs, and you've got like a Rammstein demo.
Unfortunately,
I like
I
the beat a
don't
lot.
speak German.
Yeah, I didn't know you did the music too. Good job.
Thanks. Yeah, I was playing around in GarageBand.
Gotta love that iPad, man.
I do.
Did you do the tapping with the drums, or did you do it another way? I'm not that good with that thing.
I did do the tapping with the drums. There's also a drummer function where you can tell it like how complicated and how many fills. So some of it's me to accentuate that, and some of it's the drummer track.
Very cool. The Ginge is like, I need that drop D heavy distortion.
Dude, it's there. I can hear it. I love early Rammstein, and it's got that. I don't know, just that. It's got the feel, man.
So the next time you have Ty on when Pedro's on, you have to have Pedro play along. to the
That would be
trailer.
pretty cool, actually. Yeah.
That actually might be pretty cool.
I mean,
Pedro's like,
Ryan,
"Shut up,
you
man."
could grab your ukulele.
Hey, Kayla,
You could grab your
Kayla, put that-
ukulele.
keep eating. I liked you better when you were eating.
I just finished.
Damn it.
Okay.
So I've also got some pages on the campaign, so you can get a bit more of the art and the lettering style.
And I may ask questions I know, but I'm gonna ask them for the audience. So, what are we looking at, and who did what on the stuff we're looking at?
I did everything but the editing.
Okay.
I have a great editor who happens to be on this stream.
Ty wanted to kill me.
I did not. It was
That
more
means-
my own ineptitude.
It means you did your job.
You know what? Ty had it was such a compelling story. So I took it on because I'm very into story.
Well, I
and-
appreciate that.
We had to cut a lot down.
We did.
Because we had to cut a lot down, I will say, in short form things. So
Yeah, part of it's because I used to try to write novels, and that is not how to write a comic book, which Kayla informed me of many times. And
No, I want
rightfully
these
so.
20 pages to describe the land.
Let's go full Tolkien, and I'll just have 20 pages right here, just doing the ancestry of this twig.
Was it dialogue, or was it more like exposition and storytelling that there was a lot of that of? The
Both.
dialogue looks good. Oh, both. Okay. Yeah.
both. And then Ty redrew some things. Quite a bit of things. And it
Yeah,
worked
That's
it's
out,
good to
I think.
have an editor in your pocket, man.
It definitely is. This thing probably would have been closer to 100 pages with the exact same story.
You are a madman.
So how many pages is it now?
It's 72 pages now.
Oh wow.
Very nice, bro. Yeah, no, don't I mean, even on Pedro's book, there's I mean, I didn't want to have to tell him, honestly, because I was like, God, this is going to be weird. But yeah, even Pedro had to redraw a couple pages, so it is what it is.
Yeah, I'm sorry to tell Ryan this, but I think I'm going to have to do pretty much full digital on the next one, because a lot easier to redo the pages on digital instead of doing the pencils and then the inks and then scanning it and then doing the colors.
Oh, I'm not offended hearing that. I did 90% of Hammerella digitally, so.
Well, you are the ink king, so I had to make sure.
Dude, there's so much royalty in here. We have the Chicken King, we have the Ink King, got the Queen. So, Ty, did you do the whole book as penciled like traditionally, and then you scanned it in, or was there how many pages, or what's the deal?
It ended up being a bit of a mixed bag towards the end. Every
I love
page
this hand
except
right here.
oh, thank you. Every page except one has at least one panel that's hand drawn. There's only one that's full digital, but the vast majority of it is hand drawn, and then doing the colors in Photoshop.
Nice. Right on. Okay, so let's get to sort of get in a little bit deeper to the character here. Can you, without spoiling too much of the story, could you tell us a little bit about the character? What's his name? You know, what's his powers? I see he's got some stuff going on with his righteous metal hand here, like metal devil fingers, not metal like an Iron Man.
Can you scroll down a little bit? I'll tell you when to stop. There's a good page that explains it. That one.
Okay.
So this character is called the Undying, and he is immortal. And he's immortal in a way that I hadn't come across before, where he basically comes back to life by experiencing everything that killed him in reverse. So that's why he's undying.
Oh, crazy.
Man.
So,
okay. I see.
And I have talked about this with Kayla. I do want to do a prequel that gets more into his origin, so I want to keep that a little light. But as he is immortal, and how he was created ties in with a lot of the Japanese folklore creatures. He's kind of on a mission to try to protect humans from the monsters in the darkness. So this is just one of the stories I have of him trying to save people from cryptids, folklore creatures, monsters, that sort of deal. And yeah, he just roams around the Japanese countryside, and he gets visions on occasion of places he should go and does what he can to save people.
I like it. The wandering samurai, have gun, will travel. I love that sort of trope there.
Yeah, like a gray man quality too. But yeah, it's all like an original mix. I like it.
Well, thank you.
What about
Can you
the
talk about his
armor?
design?
Oh,
Yeah, we're the same way.
Yeah, I was thinking the same thing. Can you get into the design and the influences for that, and maybe what it has to do with the story, if it doesn't spoil anything?
The design is actually loosely based on real samurai armor I saw in the Metropolitan Museum of Art.
Cool.
Nice.
They have an arms and armor section there. Anyone's in New York and you're not too interested in art, it'd be worth it. They've got everything. They've got medieval stuff. They've got knight stuff. They had this really cool Japanese section. And there was just this really beautiful, striking red samurai armor from, I want to say, late 1500s. It's been a long time since I was there, so I could be wrong on the date. But
You can get back to us with the exact date.
I will do that. That's
Okay,
my
thanks.
homework.
I will expect it, though. So.
But I was in a art history program, and I was trying to do a master's paper on European armor. So that's why I was there and checking it out. And I saw that, and it's just stuck with me for years before I was even thinking of doing comics. So that's where I went with. And I thought I changed it from a more crescent moon to kind of a half crescent moon, half devil horns for the top
Okay.
of the helmet. And I wanted to do a more plain mask because it had one of those really cool ones that looks like a tiger or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
But I thought that for this sort of a character, red armor was distinct enough, and I kind of like the just black and polished. In my head, if this was ever a movie, it would kind of be like Rorschach's mask, where it would change around how the light was hitting on it to make it look more inky.
Cool.
And as far as the rest of it, I mean, you can't have a samurai without having a cool katana. So yeah, had to make sure I did that. And
Yeah, what is the deal with his katana? Like, it's all electrified, lightning. What's going on?
That one is a bit of a spoiler, so give me 2 seconds to think of how to present it.
You're on the stand right now. On the spot.
There's only certain metal in my universe that can hurt a folklore creature, depending on how powerful they are. And he has one of the few blades made out of said metal. It becomes a plot point about that later, so I don't want to get too much more into it. But it's one of those things where I have actually based it on something that happened in real Japanese history with a famous sword maker named Musamane, which I probably butchered the pronunciation. But once again, that's a bit of a spoiler for the book, so I don't think I can go too much more into it.
Everybody buy the book then. Find out.
And then you can tell Jeff.
Yeah, I just don't want to be that TV show, The Critic. I don't know if you ever saw that back in the day.
Oh yeah.
And there was just one episode where he was selling a book, and he just had his cutout that just kept going, "Buy my book, buy my book."
Thanks.
I did that on the stream before. I just repeated that. Buy my book.
Let me pop into the chat real quick and say hello. We got some friends and some new faces. Kier says a turtle with dreadlocks. Nice. Yeah, that's hard to argue with, honestly. You could put dreadlocks on pretty much anything, and I think it's gonna work. Yeah, Ash and Jackal, what's up, buddy? Good to see you, Leo.
What's up,
It's
Ash?
all good. No harm, no foul. Shogun Ronin artist. We got
What's
a
up?
wandering artist, a Ronin
Whoa.
He's looking for a master, perhaps, or is that commissions? I don't know.
I
What's
feel
up,
like
James?
he might like this book.
There's some synergy here, and there's Ashen again. Hey, buddy. Okay. All right, very cool. So, is there? Could you talk a little bit about the bad guys in the story? Is there a particular main baddie anywhere in this art aside from our turtle here, our dreaded turtle?
That is the main antagonist of the book.
Okay. All right. Bold choice. Turtle with dreadlocks is the villain. I like it.
Yeah, I like a lot of different folklore creatures, cryptid stuff from around the world, and that one in particular was just seemed perfect for my first villain when I was researching into it, because I tried to make it not like authentic, because it is a story with a dude that comes back from the dead and has magic powers, but I have some friends in Japan, so I was like, can I make sure I'm not going to make Japanese people mad? So I did as much research as I could, and I think this dude was the perfect one because they are obsessed with sumo wrestling. So that automatically gave me a fighting style that I could work with. Mine's a little bigger than their normal ones, but I do say that that's odd in the book, so I think I'll get a pass there. And they are known for dragging children and horses into rivers and drowning them.
Just like Ryan.
Wow.
Jeff, the show's not about me today.
So I thought that seemed like
unfortunately. Sorry.
It's okay. I mean, you guys are here for a reason. Not otherwise, it'd just be me rattling on for an hour.
You guys are the peanut gallery. So appreciate it.
But between the fighting style, the dragging children and horses into rivers, and that sort of stuff, it seemed like a good first antagonist, villain, monster, because I do have several other stories I want to do with this character and the history of how he got to be the way he is, and there will be a character that pops up in this book that will be very important for the sequels, or at least a sequel. I'm hoping to do 3, but we'll see how that goes. There may be more.
I like that you thought about the fighting style, because I mean that's something that's like a great little detail, especially if you can see it in the comic, where you can tell this character has a certain way he's fighting as opposed to just like, you know, generic comic book action. It always adds like a little bit of like little extra depth. That's great.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you. I definitely tried to make it more of the grappling style. I don't know if it'll come off as sumo exactly, but I'm definitely did make his fighting style much more of a grapple than any sort of martial arts sort of a thing.
Mm-hmm.
Put him in the giant diaper, and I'm pretty sure that'll clear any confusion up. No, sorry. Okay. No, but so 72 pages. I get a feeling that there's really a lot more to this story than just a kind of clash with a villain here. I mean, I feel like there has to be. Is there sort of any element of it that you haven't covered necessarily without spoiling anything? Is there what's the Undying's larger purpose here? Is he trying to discover why it is that he's not dying, or is this something he's already aware of? Could you dig in a little deeper? Or?
He's aware of it, and he feels honor bound to continue this search because he feels responsible for these creatures. So he personally feels responsible for anything bad that they do to a person, because as far as he knows, they wouldn't be there if it wasn't for him. So that's part of it. That's that's briefly touched on in the book. And it's also, he just has to continue on this quest because he doesn't really have anything else he can do. He if you can't die and you feel like you're responsible for an injustice, you kind of have to keep going. It's not like he could settle down and have wife and kids or anything. You know, that would suck to outlive your family repeatedly. I've always thought that with vampires.
Right. Yes, very nice. Okay. Man, I really, really like this page or this panel. Even the whole page, honestly, is nice. But something about was this physical? Did you do this digital? I feel like you really captured the movement on those inking lines right there on the fingertips.
The electricity was augmented in Procreate. The rest of it was physically drawn.
Man.
And in a strange way, I have to thank Peter from Untitled Comics for this book being a thing. I originally tried to do an 8-page submission for it came out on a Wednesday, and he rightfully rejected it. And trust me, it was rightfully rejected. Looking back on it compared to what it is now.
Fair enough.
But it became one of those stories where I tried working on something else, and my brain kept going, well, you know, if you added this to the samurai story, it makes more sense. And then it got to the point where it was, no, this book needs to be made. It will not leave me alone until it's made. So I got really passionate about it, and it's been my primary focus for, like I said, about 2 years, maybe a little more. I've done a few other things, some fan art, and, you know, just to break away, but I kept coming back to this, and before I even finished this, I was already, okay, let's outline the prequel. What am I having in that one?
That's how it goes. Can't help it. All those stories start popping in once you're working on something.
Totally. And rest assured, Kayla, if you do edit the prequel, I'm trying to keep it to 24 pages.
Speaking of the lady in the room, when did
24 pages? I will hold you to that. I will hold you to 24 pages.
What was your pay, Kayla? Was it like a Slim Jim per page or
per panel?
It's not a bad rate.
Ooh, per panel, man. Nickel and diamond.
A savage size Slim Jim per page. When Ty came to me, he just had so much passion about it. So, of course, I said yes because he was so passionate about this project, and I love when people are passionate about things. And if I can offer any help, then I always will. So
that was actually leads to my next question, which was when were you brought in? When whoever wants to answer that. At what part of the process was Caleb brought in to edit?
I think I had.
So.
Go ahead, Kayla.
Ty had pretty much everything done. He had a lot of material. So much material. Ty, you had so much.
I did.
It was basically like a book with there was just so much. So basically, I went in and I was like, all right, we're going to cut this down and I'm going to have you redraw this. I think you can do this a lot better. Try this approach out. There were certain things, like it's his project. He's in control of his project. I cannot tell him everything to do. So we had to agree on certain aspects, and he listened to some of my point of views and took them into consideration. So that's pretty much how it went. Basically, I was scanning pages back over to him, making a ton of different notes on them, circling things. Try drawing this like this, flip this like this, going over the writing, cut this down to this.
Take out this entire page.
Take out this entire page, yeah. A lot of that.
Yeah, my experience, because I'm the old dog in the room, so my experience over the years has been to notice in my own relationship with editors and as an art director and with others that I see, is like someone will bring someone on as an editor for their book. They won't follow that many of the instructions or the changes or take that many of the recommendations, and then the second time they hire them, they listen to like everything the editor says is like, oh no, I have to do this. My editor said that. And it's usually because the creative person learned after completing the project, after getting it in other people's hands, then they see like, and I should say we see like, oh, I could have chopped out that chapter. Oh, I could have whittled that down. Oh, that, and but like, then they know, like, just listen to the editor next time.
I desperately tried to listen to Kayla, and a lot of my problem was that you seem to think I'm better than I am.
That's a good editor too.
So it's like, I want to challenge Ty. I want to challenge people based on the potential that they have. If I feel that you can do better, I'm going to try to push you to do better always. Just always,
I used to get so mad. Editors would be like, this isn't working right here. And I'd just be like, just think it works. Just imagine it works. And just, because I'm imagining it works. And they're like, I think you could do better. And I was like, damn it.
Obviously things he was gung-ho about. I mean, it's his project at the end of the day. That's never the kind of editing style that I have. I'm working alongside Spencer, when someone's gung-ho about something, they're gung-ho about something. Mm-hmm. So I kind of just, it's your project. I mean, I'm going to give you my input. You can choose to go with it. You can choose not to, but this is my input.
Yeah, you're basically like a crossing guard. You're like, I'm here to get you across the street, but if you pull away from my hand and run off to that's your own thing. You can do that if you want.
Well, I hope I didn't go to George Lucas on you. Prequel.
And Ty, I didn't mean to imply you weren't listening to her on your first project. I was just making comment of my experience with the way newer creators tend to treat editing on the first go around as opposed to the second go around.
But I understood too, like Ty had things that he was willing to do, things that he was not willing to do from the beginning. However, some of the things he was not willing to do, he ended up doing. So
see, that's great. You gotta be brave. Yeah.
So it worked out. I mean, and I just want to say his art style definitely improved a lot throughout the course. I mean, I don't want to am I allowed to say so certain things that he redrew, I'm going to just say it, certain things that he redrew and added in, there is a huge difference. And it all works out though. That's good.
It's okay to say
there was growth. Great, so. There was tremendous growth, I think, on Ty's part. He worked very hard. I'm very proud of him because he had this idea and he wanted to make it happen, and he had a time frame, and he pretty much got what he needed to do done in a time frame. Like he said, I want this out by this time, and he had everything done by that time. Anytime I sent him stuff to work on, he sent it right back, because I was working in chunks. He had sent me so much material. I was like, all right, let me start with these pages first. So, and then we had long phone conversations about everything, where I'm sure he was so aggravated with me.
That's good though, when every book I've worked on, you start out where you're still figuring everything out, and by the time you get to that last page, every last page of the books I work on is always better than the first, because you're figuring it out, you're learning, and if you're not doing that, then you're not growing. So that's all good. That's great to hear.
Yes, and I have a weird relationship with comics, and I mean weird as in not normal, not anything that you're going to make jokes about.
Damn.
I didn't get into comics until I was in my 30s. And this is actually why I had a timeline. When my dad got sick with Parkinson's and dementia, and my mom and I had to be his caregiver. So I basically was on call 24/7. So writing and doing art was my only outlet. And at some point during that, I went, dude, you're spending more time doing drawings for your novel than you are writing. Why don't you do comic books?
Mm-hmm.
And then I started buying them. Big two stuff at first. I've branched out into more indie, and I just fell absolutely in love with the medium. But because I don't have that history, like picking it up when you're an 8-year-old and having been reading it for years and years, it made listening to Kayla a lot easier for me because I know she knows her stuff. I know that she's been a fan of the genre for a really long time, and I felt it would be kind of dumb of me to go, no, I know better. I've only been reading comics for the last 7 years. You've been reading it for so much longer, but I know better than you. Plus, it was also why would I hire an editor and not listen to them?
Mm-hmm.
So I think those both helped me.
You'd be surprised how many people do that. Or maybe not. Maybe you wouldn't be surprised.
Because I did do an art degree, I can completely understand that because I saw so many students tell their teachers, no, I know better than you. Like, why are you paying insane amounts of money to go to college and have a college professor tell you how these things work?
I'm scared because my mom wants me to be here.
I think too, this is a different style for Ty completely because Ty does some amazing like scenic paintings.
Yes.
Like fantasy style, like there were so many that he showed me. So this was something completely different for him artistically, I would say.
Definitely.
So
yes,
lovely tree right here, bro. Petals, I guess that would be. I mean, it's a tree.
Cherry blossoms.
Hey,
cherry blossoms.
I'm sorry.
There's a thing in the background that looks like a structure of some type.
What is that thing?
Sorry.
Could a person live in such a place? I wonder.
Yeah, I was doing a lot of stuff like this with landscapes, and I got into this thing of painting frames on the stretch canvases.
Nice, bro.
Because I don't know if anyone else has ever. Yeah, and it's so much nicer too because you don't have to worry about what frame matches this picture. You just paint the frame on it and it matches.
It'd be funny if you sold a bunch of your paintings to someone and then went to their house and they had bought frames that cover up the frame part you painted on.
Imagine.
They're like, I had to change it up.
And I'd be like, that's okay. You paid me for the full thing. Do what you want.
Is this acrylic?
Oh, go ahead. Sorry.
It is acrylic.
Great.
What size is that?
11 by 14.
Oh, okay. I thought it'd be much bigger. That's a lot of detail in there.
Yeah, it was a sponge for the cherry blossoms.
Nice.
Yes, I was gonna ask. Very nice, bro. Now, and what is this? This isn't okay. Is this the same piece or no?
It is. It's to show how the frame wraps around.
Oh shit!
Oh,
right
cool.
on. Yeah, and this one actually has already been sold. We're gonna hop to the perks here in a minute. Is that correct though? Is this one? I thought I saw it was.
That got sold the first day. I was very grateful and very shocked.
Very nice, dude.
That's awesome.
Yes. Okay.
I wanted Ty to put up like a crap ton of his paintings. I did. I was like, put up your paintings for tiers.
Might not be a bad idea, honestly.
Yeah, it's a really good idea. Especially like that one looks like it's thematically tied to the story a little, or at least similar inspiration.
Definitely. I also had some woodblock burnings that are similar with the castle in the background and cherry trees and stuff. I think that's what you're talking about, right, Kayla? That you wanted.
Yeah,
to
those were pretty good. Those were pretty good. Yeah.
You
didn't put I was surprised you shipping for them.
Yeah.
Well, the post office goes by weight, so it would be cheaper through the post office but with UPS it would have gotten there faster, or FedEx. Just in my shipping knowledge from
Yes, it was
working
more.
in shipping.
I wanted to do Gemini mailers. So it was, how could I do a Gemini mailer and that without having a whole box with like all that weird Amazon plastic bag stuff in it?
Mm-hmm.
But it's something I'll look into. Like, if I can get this funded and people like it and want more, I'll definitely do a prequel, and I'll be adding the extra perks on that.
I mean, it's looking pretty good. Like you're gonna get funded. Let's do a little refresh here. I backed before the show. Oh, hey, we got another backer. Very nice.
Hey.
Thank you, other backer.
Woo, 71%. Right on.
Look at that,
Very-
Ty, and you still have
very cool.
what, 38 days left to go? So you or 36. I don't have my glasses on right now. So
39.
39.
oh well, wow, I'm really blind.
I
So,
can still hear okay. I just can't read anything.
I do have a quick question for,
Where's my
I guess,
burger?
Ty.
Sorry.
Oh, it might help if I make my screen bigger. Oh,
Or put your
yeah,
glasses
that's the
on,
thing.
or
So I'm
No,
just
it's
wondering.
the screen. It was like tiny.
she had a black screen. She was trying to read it.
It's like all white around the screen.
But so I was just wondering, before we move on to the perks and everything. So how many pages do you actually have drawn of this book? I know the book itself is done, but before Kayla came on board, did you have like how many pages did you have drawn? It sounds like there was a lot more even.
Yeah, were there
Actually
more than
drawn.
72 drawn?
There
to
are more
create
than
the book.
72 drawn. I
So like some
don't
spare
remember how
pages floating
many.
around.
I do, and I'd show you one, but it's also a spoiler, so I can't do that. Even though it's not in the book, it tells you a plot point. So, and that's why I was so happy to have Kayla, and the resistance she felt was because I had so much done. If she's like, "Can you do this with this panel?" I'm like, I have to redraw the entire panel and recolor it and re-ink it, and I could do it.
You'll do it.
You folded really quick just there. It almost sounded like a no, and it's like, all right. Okay. Well, right on. And absolutely, I've worked with Kayla behind the scenes. She's a very thoughtful and, very forceful editor. Like this lady doesn't play around.
She's wordful too. She's thoughtful and wordful.
Yes.
I think it depends on who I'm editing with. I try to tailor my editing styles to the person. I mean, because poor Ed, with what I'm doing with him, I mean, he's going to break up with me. He's going to freaking leave me.
Wait, do you call what you do, what your relationship with your boyfriend editing? You're editing him?
Okay.
Oh, I'm editing.
Editing.
I'm editing
Oh my
his
God,
work.
I just now got that.
I'm editing his work. So you should have seen me going over that phoenix that he drew on my graduation cap.
Hi, I'm Ed Itting. Nice to meet you.
Ed Itting. That's a fun name.
And like
I'm
his
Edward
tattoo
King.
works. His like when he comes home and does like his tattoo designs and everything for his clients. I'm like, yeah, you should redo that.
Nice.
Why? Well, I don't think that's really what the client wants. The client gave you a description. I think, yeah. Put
Now
your
I'm
style
picturing-
on it, but
Now I'm picturing you editing everyone everywhere. You're at the grocery store. You're like, actually, hon, take that cereal box back. Swipe it again, but with a little more like determination, a little more focus. Like, get that to me again.
The Twinkies
You're gonna
go
want the honey
behind the
I mean, and
ding-dongs.
then there's literally the people that, I literally outright tell them like, this fucking sucks. You need to fix this completely. But it depends on the person. Like
That's just about her mocha
every
latte to the
individual
girl at Starbucks.
person. Like literally every individual person, every artist has a different art style. They have different abilities. They have different writing styles. You have to look at what you're being given and look at who you're working with and tailor editing to that person. Yes, you can edit one way completely, I guess, all the time, but that doesn't work because everybody is different.
But honestly, it is good being told something sucks. Like, because it's very easy to like have people tell you, "Oh, this is awesome," and then you don't actually learn anything, and you realize, like weeks later, "Oh, I'm looking at this again now, and it sucks." But everybody told me it was nice, but really it sucks. Like I had a teacher in art school, and he literally said that. He was like, "Oh, this sucks," and it's like, "Oh yeah, I guess it does suck. I should work on this and get better."
Yeah, I had that with art school stuff too, and then I also had the teachers that did the opposite, where if someone would catch on too quick, then they would make them do it over again just because they're like, well, you need more practice.
Mm-hmm.
I had a lighting professor in photo do that, and I was so happy my partner was who she was, because I'm kind of a goody two-shoe, so I was ready to go and like relight the whole thing and do the picture all over and develop. And she's like, just wait about 15 minutes. We're going to go outside. We're going to have a cigarette. We're going to go back and we're going to show her the exact same picture.
Yep.
And we did. And, oh, this is so much better.
That is a trick I taught a bunch of people throughout my career. I learned it really early on because I was an apprentice to older dudes who had already learned all the tricks. And so mostly works for colorists, but it would sometimes work for inkers. But yeah, the editor gives you a note like, hey, we don't like all the purple in the background. You're like, damn it, I really liked what I did there. All you do is wait till the week before it's due, turn it all in at the end, and they're just like, cool, the book's done. All right. And like they don't go back to look if you change the shade of color.
You know what though? I was just thinking.
Kayla learned the secrets. Now she's going to use them against you.
Though, if you say something sucks, you have to be able to say why it sucks.
Yeah,
That's
yeah,
true.
definitely.
You have to be able to describe that. You can't just say, "Oh, this sucks." No, this sucks because you have an issue with the color, you have an issue with the shading, you have an issue with the highlighting, you have an issue with the proportion. This is on the wrong side. This isn't going to convey well to the reader. There's like a list.
Yeah, it's got to be direction. Otherwise, it's being mean.
Yeah,
pretty much.
And this is what I kept trying to say to, like, I know I asked some people for advice and they didn't want to give it because so many people get mad if you give them honest feedback. I kept trying to explain to people, dude, I went to art school. The whole point of critiques in art school seems to be trash everyone else's project so yours look better in the teacher's eye. That was my experience with the critiques. Trust me. I could take it.
Very cutthroat it sounds. A bunch of art nerds just looking to snipe each other out. Man.
I don't have an artistic ability at all. I just know how to look at it and fix it. That's why Spencer picked me up at a con pretty much.
He literally picked her up, put her on his shoulder, and walked out with her.
You're coming with me.
You're mine now.
He is a giant, after all, is my understanding.
Yeah, 4 people died on his way out.
Yeah, Spencer has witnessed me being very unrelentless, I should say, and ruthless to the point I've made people cry, and he seemed to enjoy it.
Kayla has the same relationship as Conan and his master.
And then the laugh, that laugh was, I've made people cry, and then you threw like this classic, like, out of Cruella de Vil, like villainess laugh. Very good.
No, I'm just laughing because the memories I have at Comic Cons of crazy shit. I had someone show me something with 2 left feet and think it was so great, and I'm like, dude, you have 2 fucking left feet on this. What do you mean? There's 2 left feet. Like, you have 2 left feet.
I always love finding those things. Like, I won't name any names or anything, but just like, and like one of my favorites was, there was a big Batgirl book years and years ago drawn by one of my favorite artists, and there was a fight scene where she had 2 left hands.
Oh, I know what you're talking about. I know what you're talking about.
Like, it was so funny to me that like I even like looked at, like, hit up a few people. I'm like, is this page available? The original art? I kind of want this. I want this page.
It's like the tattoo artist. I was showing Ed. There was a tattoo artist that did a Super Mario with some guy had it on his hand, and he had 2 left fist. Like, he had like one left fist punching up, and the other one was a left fist. I'm like, dude. And Ed's like, dude, that art is fucked up. He fucked up. There's no fixing that shit.
Extra fingers is one you see a lot too.
I hope I didn't have.
Oh
any
yeah,
of
yeah,
those.
like 6 fingers. Yeah.
Yeah, like 6 fingers or 2 thumbs.
Mhm.
Ty, what would you say is your biggest struggle with art? What would you say?
People.
Doing people.
I've always had a problem with proportions of people.
Mm-hmm.
I was told it's linked to a learning disability I have.
Mm-hmm.
That's kind of like dyslexia, but I also flip things and mirror them. So, like, my best way to explain it is lowercase b, d, p, and q can all look the same to me. Or I will go to write bad and I'll write dad instead. So I was told that it's kind of common for people with similar disabilities to have problems with proportions. Like, you can see it in your head, but it just doesn't translate into your hands. And if you saw my earlier work, you would know how much better my people have gotten. So that's what I try to focus on the most these days, is working on more people and making sure my proportions are better.
I actually,
awesome.
Ryan mentioned original art, and I wish you'd have gotten that page, Ryan, because I got to look this up after the show. I just want to see it for myself. But Ty, what about any of your original pages from the book? Would you do any of those as a perk? Possibly?
I don't think so, and the only reason is I work on a funny sketch diary thing that I get at Lucky.
Sorry, my whole computer just cut out and came back. But I missed everything that you just said. I mean, this is things that we've talked about, so I'm aware. I just want, you to share some things with everyone else about yourself. So.
Oh, well, Ginge was asking about original art pages, and if people were interested, I would do it, but the page is a weird size. It's 9 by 6 inches, and I go pretty much on the entire paper. And when I scan it, it's almost, with the resolution difference with my scanner, it's almost the correct size for a comic. So I just don't know. I know people want to frame original art, and I just don't know that they're frameable. That's the only hesitation I have on originals.
I think people don't really care as long as they like it. They'll buy it.
Yeah, wait till somebody asks too. If you want to just, maybe someone will read the book and then be like, "I love this page. Is this page available?" And then you can decide, like, do I want to sell this?
Man, I tell you, dude, that's this right here. This is a sweet. That would be a sweet page right there. I'd be interested in that myself. Schnicked. Okay, so let's go ahead. Sorry.
I'd also have to make sure it's actually got everything in the original page. You know what I mean? Like that one, the schninked is not hand drawn; it's photoshopped.
Yeah, that's okay.
Yeah, that's fine. I think most people know that most lettering is added later, so that shouldn't be it. But you do have that whoosh in there, right?
That is also added. The whoosh is
was it really?
Drawn. The whoosh is hand drawn, but
okay.
It's cut out and put on.
Gotcha. But yeah, I do like that. I love when people are hand drawing the sound effects like that, where it actually matches the background. It's like taking. It's like you can see that the smoke is kind of, or fog is whooshing around him. That's great.
I appreciate that. Yeah, nice. I also have when the Kappa makes animal sounds, for lack of a better term, I had written out like individual letters, and I put them in that way. So that's handwritten font and not typed in or anything.
Awesome.
So I just, especially after talking to Kayla, I tried to leave stuff like that out just because it would be so much easier if she's like, yeah, this style doesn't work for this lettering for this. Mm-hmm. Well, now I have to redraw the whole thing instead of just redrawing the sound effects.
So let's slide on into the perks here, and since we're coming up on an hour, and let's start right at the top here. What do we got here, Ty? For $8.
Well, I can't do international shipping except to Canada on this one, just because of the cost and all the craziness going on with the USPS and everything. So I really wanted to make sure there was a digital perk for anyone that was either interested in the book but didn't know that they wanted to pay to get the full book, or anyone that was international that wanted to have a chance. So digital copy has the front cover, back cover, interior, and the 72 pages. And then the extra thing I'm doing, I'm going to put a little tiny watermark on them, but nothing like where you can't read the page. And the other thing is, if I hit any of the stretch goals, a file will be added to the PDF, so they get the stretch goal files as well.
Oh,
Cool.
Yeah, stretch goals, actually. Let's make sure were those listed on here? Did I zip right past those?
It's towards the bottom.
Let's cover those real quick. Okay, so all right, we got the book, the digital backers. Okay. Oh, I see.
Go down. And a little after that. There you go.
Here we go. All right, so first stretch goal at $500, every physical backer gets a 4x6 print of the Undying. Digital backers will have the file added to the PDF. Very nice. Okay, so is that up here on the page? Is that
it's not. I was going to reveal them as I reach the stretch goals.
That would make sense.
But I tell you what, let me get it set up here, and I can do a screen share in a second. Just give me 1 second.
Hey, all right. Sneak peek. Very cool. You'll definitely be hitting the first stretch goal, at least, to say that. Getting this thing funded.
Definitely looks like it, and I really appreciate it. But I'm also trying to not do the chicken before the egg situation either.
I hear that.
I'm a pessimist by nature, so if I plan for the worst, then I'm pleasantly surprised.
Oh.
You probably noticed that by now, haven't you, Kayla?
Yes. Yes.
All right, sorry, I had to send it from my iPad. Give me a second.
You're good, buddy. So, Kayla, is there any... have you guys talked about working on the next book together? Is this a continuing relationship? The editor and the writer here? Have y'all discussed that? Or
If the story is good, I will edit for Ty. If the story is good, I will edit for Ty. It's not an issue. But Ty will be in for a lot more the second time around.
Well, the second
just
time
like
around,
a threat.
The second time around, you'll have a script, which will make things easier to change. So,
Yes, I'm sure you'll have a script given to me, and I basically this was pretty much already done how it was sent to me, and then it was just me going in and all right. So a script would be the better route. I mean, although I do like kind of bullpen style of editing pretty much. Like I like being there and doing that kind of stuff, but it's obviously Ty lives very far. So it's not like I can be in the same room.
yeah, opposite sides of the country.
Because I like to be able to like walk people through things that I see. You know, but I did my very best of walking everything through despite the distance. So there was like a lot of like, what would you say I did, Ty? Highlighting, circling things, crossing things out.
You did all
a lot
that.
of bunch of notes.
Yeah, what she did was she printed out the pages and then left a big blank space on the bottom. And then she went through and numbered each of the panels. And then she would either circle or highlight or cross things out depending on, and then write down in the margin, this is what I'm saying for this note on this panel. So it was very clear for me. Worked out well on my end. I think we only had a couple times I was confused on your suggestions, and then we just had to talk on the phone for a little bit.
Yeah, then there was like a couple things I remember like on the phone that I did with like color.
Yes,
I was,
and
like,
a couple of proportion issues too.
Very cool. I like the teamwork. Very nice.
It's very Alex Toth kind of, like he when Steve Root sent him his Johnny Quest pages, Toth did that. He numbered them and wrote down every single thing that he thought about every panel, and he kind of had the same vibe as Kayla, very straightforward.
Mm-hmm. Well, because somebody like Toth knew that like this wall needs 16 bricks. It doesn't need 20. It doesn't need 30. It doesn't need 10. It needs 16. And you can believe me or not, whatever, but I've built so many walls. He's that kind of creator. Where it wasn't an emotional thing for him. It was like, no, this is how you do it.
Yep.
But you say that to an artist, and it's like, but that's not how I did it.
Yes, I definitely, once things have calmed down with the Death Curse zine, I will definitely be contacting Kayla with a outline and see if she likes the story and where we can go from there. Because she, like Ryan said, no, you don't need that here. Not at all. You've already done this twice. Cut this. Trust me. You're repeating.
Hey, guys,
was right.
I think that I was nice, though. I was nice.
You were. I really appreciate that you took on the project, and I found it very helpful. And I'm sorry you felt like I was being super resistant. I'll be better next time.
No,
but
you
Kayla really cares,
super
and she
resistant.
wouldn't have done any of that if she didn't care and didn't think that there was potential there.
Yeah, and you were very, very passionate about it, so that's why I was glad to help you. You had this story written out, and you went over like the bigger spectrum of things. So I understand everything that you were doing, and I'm very proud of you, Ty. And I was very happy to work with you on this.
Thank you. I was very happy that you agreed to work on it with me too. I think
it's 72 pages. Sorry, I'm just gonna hop in here. I think it's 72 pages. That's a really it's a great. It's a lot of pages for a first time creator, but
yeah, it's massive.
Also, yeah, it makes me, like I mentioned earlier, definitely. I'm a writer myself, so I'm a story guy, and I'm sort of what's the word that's more than curious, and whatever that word is.
Intrigued.
Eager,
intrigued.
Bi-curious.
Yeah, I'm very bi-curious to see where this book leads me.
It's not June yet. I think you're very intrigued is the word that you're looking for.
Yes.
You're
Naked.
intrigued
You're very
to
naked.
see where the
That too. No, it's just from the sunburn. Like wearing any clothes is painful at this point.
You gotta get some aloe, okay?
What's going on off camera?
Ginge, you gotta get some aloe.
Yeah, I have none at the house. I go out, I tan somewhat, but I mowed the lawn today, like front and back, and it was just, man, I'm out red.
I am
a euphemism.
I'm dark. I'm really dark. I didn't realize I decided to go into a tanning bed before my graduation because I was like, I'm a shade of white. I've never been in the entirety of my life. I am so dark right now. I looked at my graduation pictures. I was like, fuck, I know I get tan, but I was only in a tanning bed for 7 minutes. I was like, holy shit. I'm like, the light in this house doesn't even do it. Like, I looked at my graduation pictures. I'm like, fuck, I'm darker than my dad. My dad is like pretty dark. I mean, he's Armenian,
I look like
but
a
he's
black
pretty
screen.
dark.
Kayla looks in the mirror. She says, "I'm Zendaya."
Put me in Dune 2. I'm ready.
Okay, guys. So let's go ahead and hop back on track here. So Ty, that was I know we basically chatted over that entire image, but what you had up there,
Let me share
that
again.
was
Give me a second.
So that was that is your poster.
This is for the stretch goal.
Stretch goal.
The 4x6 print.
Oh, okay. Why did I think it was a poster for some reason?
there
The
is a poster.
No,
there's
he
two
does have two
posters.
posters with his with the book perks. I knew that, but for some reason I thought that was I didn't read that correctly. I did not read that
Don't-
correctly.
Don't admit stuff like that as an editor, Kayla. Come on.
I got confused. I have been looking at a lot of these Undying images for a couple months now.
This is true.
Excuses.
I screen shared again, Ginge, if you want to use it. At least I think I did.
I don't see your.
Oh, it would help if I clicked the share button.
There we go.
That
And
helps
this one
sometimes.
was one of the ones you redrew too.
Ew.
Yeah, this one's all digital, with Procreate, because I could do a lot more of texture and highlights and stuff than I could do just in Photoshop over regular inks. Plus,
Now
Ryan got me a little addicted to Procreate.
Very nice. So
right.
you said this was a trading card, or is this a small print?
It's a 4x6 inch print.
Okay.
Ginge, you're worse than me. You're worse than me.
I'm fried today, guys. I apologize.
And I'll add a second thing here for you, Ginge.
Oh, okay.
Give me a second.
Let him
Buy
pack
that.
it up for you.
The spiciest pepper in the chicken vindaloo. Very nice.
There you go. You asked about an original page.
Oh my.
Oh, that's awesome.
Right on, dude. Wow. Very nice. Lots of. I can definitely get a manga influence. Have you read any manga? You said you just started reading comic books soon, but I love that first panel, that angle coming in there.
Thanks. And no, I haven't read too much.
You need to pick up Berserk. Pick up Berserk, Ty, and look at the artwork in it.
I'm writing that down.
But don't read the words.
Well,
I
he
really
can
like
read
the-
it. He can read it as well, but that I think visually the art style of Berserk or like some Junji Ito stuff, you know.
I really like the fog drifting into the town. That's really creepy.
Nice.
Thanks. I
Great
think,
storytelling.
I think I was listening to Death Curse when I came up with some of the how the monster was coming in. So you guys might have influenced that.
Whatever we said, I'm sorry.
Was it a fart joke? I feel like it was a fart joke.
No, I think Spencer was going on a weird tirade about art from serial killers and
Tirade.
Ew.
It probably was on serial killers. It probably was.
and like he was
I remember
somehow,
that episode very well.
and he just like disappeared into, oh my god, did you know this person made this? And then he came back and he was all of a sudden talking about like Friday the 13th, and for some reason the like fog creeping into a small town between those two things just like became an image in my head.
That's right. Death Curse, helping creators create, everybody.
I mean, that's the goal ultimately. That is the goal ultimately. If Spencer's ever said it, that's what we all hope to do.
Very nice. Okay, gang, let's hop back into these perks here. So we went over the digital, and then for $25 we've got the book. Is that correct?
That is correct.
Does that come with anything additionally, or
it is just the book? Which, like I said, 72 pages. It's full color. It's going to be perfect bound, and I'm already been talking to the printer, so I'm hoping I won't have too many hiccups there. I know that can be an issue. So looking for shipping in the beginning of August for the physical backer tiers.
Nice. Okay, so you want to start shipping in August. Okay. Hell yeah.
Ty, maybe you should sign all the books as a courtesy.
I think I have to, because I've already had some of my friends that are backing it insist that I sign it or they're not backing it. So I might as well just do it all.
Oh yeah. Okay, so we've got a book. We've got the book and a poster, and that image is actually down here. Is this the cover as well? I forget.
That is the back cover.
Okay. Man, I like it. Very nice.
And it will they'll be folded 11 by 17s.
Right on. Oh yeah.
So
Okay, then we've got.
So there's two. There's the one you just showed, and then there's a second one, which is the Undying with the village behind him.
Yes.
That is down towards the bottom too.
Okay, let's see. Ooh, hello. Very nice. Man, love that. That sky peeking over the mountains there.
Yeah, it's a nice sky.
Thank you. That's another one of those hybrids where part of it, the Undying, the village, and the mountains are all drawn and inked, and then the lightning in the eyes and the sky was all added with Procreate.
Nice. You did the colors in the sky in Procreate?
Correct.
Man, I like it.
I dig it.
Cool.
Did we discuss what you ink with?
I ink with Copic markers.
Oh, nice. The good stuff.
They are. I am very bad at smudging, so the fact that they're alcohol based and dry so quick is just perfect for me.
Very nice. That's always my mistake. I smudge something and then the whole thing's ruined. Not quite so dramatic, but all right. So Ty, he's only got, this has already been backed, already been bought and sold. Very nice. Congratulations, buddy.
Thank you.
Maybe we'll see some more of those paintings for sale. But all in all, that's the campaign, everybody. Let me go ahead and refresh this thing, see if we picked up any more backers.
Let me just add that one of the stretch goals, which is my, oh my God, if I reach it, which is 1,500, everyone will get one of the two posters. So if you back one of the posters and we hit that stretch goal, you get both posters, or you can contact me and you can get two of the same one. And everyone else gets one, and I can, at that point, I'll ask if they have a particular one that they want, see how that goes.
I think you just got another backer, Ty.
You did.
Nice. Thank you, backer.
Yep, we're up to 12 backers, 73%. Right on, bro. Hell yeah. Very good.
Thank you so much.
Yeah. So that's it for my questions. Panels. If there's any, y'all have any other questions, or Ty, if there's anything that you mentioned or not.
I know you like to keep it short to an hour, but I just had one quick question. Maybe it could be a quick answer too. And maybe you said this and I missed it, but is the bad guy an original creation, or is he influenced by something old folklore?
He is definitely influenced by old folklore. I did my own twist on it.
Okay.
But it's called a kappa. I'm not sure which way it's supposed to be pronounced properly.
Kappa.
Yeah, my friend in Japan always tells me I pronounce everything wrong, so I just try not to anymore because it's almost worse when I mispronounce it when I'm trying.
Well, all the A's will always be the same, so it should actually be kappa. Kappa.
Oh, that's like how I talk. That's perfect for me.
Think of like a car park
Kappa?
in Boston. Kappa.
Japanese are just Bostonians.
Kappa.
Yeah, I was
walking here.
Although I've been
told,
having to enunciate better for my clients because I'm going to have a bunch of kids walking around with the Massachusetts accent everywhere.
That'd be awesome.
It is a fun accent. It's very, very distinct.
But yeah,
Alrighty.
I beefed it up a bit. They're a little scrawnier, but I went, how is this scrawny thing pulling a horse into a river? And I want it to be a sumo. So it's bigger, it's bulkier, but it is based on a real folklore creature.
Cool.
Hell yeah.
Yes, and the dreadlocks. Now I have to ask: is that your? Is that also part of the folklore?
I'd go a little bit of both because they're usually depicted coming out of water, and they have long hair, so it kind of clumps. So I once again exaggerated. Instead of having scraggly clumps, I did the thicker dreadlock clumps.
Nice.
They also have a bowl with water on the inside of their head. it
Oh.
factors in the book, so I can't say much more than that.
Boy, that's quite a note to leave off on. Okay.
Yeah, my friend
All
called
right.
it the Brain Bowl, so I'll go with that. We'll leave with the Brain Bowl.
I like it.
So Ty,
Very interesting.
you're excited to get this out to everybody.
I am incredibly excited and nervous and so grateful for all the people backing and checking out the page, and for you guys being here and talking to me and letting me promote the book, and for Ginge and Pedro being the first show I was on. So it's nice
Hell
to come
yeah.
back to actually have the project up where people can see it.
They're awesome like that.
Well, thank you guys. Yep, it was a fun show. Thanks. I want to thank all of you guys for coming. Ty, Ryan, Jeff, and of course Kayla. Thank you guys for coming.
Glad to be here.
Yeah, glad to be here.
Yeah, I'm glad to be
Thanks
here
again.
too.
Say goodbye to
Congrats,
the
Ty.
chat. Yep, and of
See ya,
course.
chat. Thanks for showing up.
See you later,
Yep.
chat.
Thank you,
Bye.
Neo Star, for
everybody.
hanging out and commenting.
I'll see you at the interviews this week. I'm back.
Ooh.
Oh,
All right.
very nice. Who's your guest? Who's your first returning guest?
I have Joe M. Sontag coming on to talk about Reaper Destroyer.
Right on. Very cool. All right, that'll be a great show over on the Death Curse channel. But on that note, we're going to go ahead and end the broadcast here. So I want to thank you all for watching and listening, and we will see you Sunday.